All right, welcome you guys. Let's take a look at what's probably one of the toughest questions on homework 1.2. So this is number 5, okay? First of all, even knowing what this is asking of you can be kind of hard. I remember struggling with this notation. But remember that whatever is inside of the parentheses, you just plug it in for all of the x's. It's that simple. So for part A, we're going to be substituting a 0 in for all of the x's. Now remember, 0 times anything is 0. So this 2 times 0 is going to go away. 0 squared is still 0, and 0 times 3 is 0. So this is going to go away. So essentially anything multiplying by a 0 is gone. So that only leaves us with the number 10. So this first one, not too bad. Gotta love 0. All right, let's go into B. So now we're substituting in a -2 for every x. Okay, so let's see what we get here. So the negative is being squared since it's inside the parentheses. So this is really a -2 times a -2. Okay. And same thing right here. This is a -2 times a -2. So it's going to become a +4. All right, and it doesn't matter what order you do these in really, because multiplication is commutative. But let's say we take care of the -2 times -2 and make it a +4. And then 3 times 4 is 12. So we just got to add this all up. So 12 plus 4 is 16, 16 plus 10. We should get 26 for this one. Okay. Still not too bad. Let's go ahead and start number or letter C. Okay, so we're going to substitute in a 3 for every x. All right, so we're going to do the 3 squared. So 3 times 3 is 9. And we might as well do the 2 times the 3. That'll get us 6. So 3 times 9 is 27. So 27 take away 6 is 21. If we add 10 to that, we're going to get 31. So far, doing pretty good. Let's take a look now at some of the ones that are kind of tricky. I mean, D and E are tough. So for D, you're substituting in a -x for all the x's. It's kind of weird feeling, but you'll get used to it. So we're going to put a -x everywhere where we had an x. Okay, so a -x times another -x. So a negative times a negative equals a positive, and an x times an x is an x squared. So this is going to become x squared right here. Then for this middle piece, we have a negative times a negative also, right? -2 times -x. So that's going to be a positive. And 2 times x is just 2x. And we can't, a lot of students want to take this further, like factor it or use the quadratic formula or something. But this is the answer right here. Okay. All right. Now let's try what I would say is probably the reason why students miss this problem. And remember, if you missed this last one and you do the try another, you got to redo all of them. So that's the part that could be a little frustrating. So you really want to put a lot of effort into E. Okay. So looking over here at E, we're going to substitute a 1 minus t in for all the x's. So 1 minus t goes in for all the x's. So I'm going to do some like my scratch work off to the side here. Now remember, you can't distribute this 3. I have a lot of students that'll do that, and I can see why we're so used to it. But according to the order of operations, exponents comes before multiplication. Remember the whole, please excuse my drunk Aunt Sally. You've got to do the exponents before the multiplication. So that's the reason why we have to do this first. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna do right here off to the side. I'm gonna do 1 minus t times another 1 minus t. And this is often called foiling or distributing. So we are going to multiply the 1 times the 1, which is 1, and the 1 times the negative t, so negative t. And the negative t times the 1, which is negative t. And a negative times a negative is a positive, and a t times a t is a t squared. So then if we put this in the proper order, so descending order, in other words, from highest exponent to lowest exponent, I'm going to put the positive t squared that was at the back in the front. I'm going to combine these two t to the first. So negative t plus negative t is negative 2t. And then this positive 1, I'm going to put that at the back. So you can see we have it in descending order because we have t to the second, t to the first, and then no t. Remember, if there's no exponent there, that the exponent is a 1, okay? All right, so we're going to bring that back into our problem. So 3 multiplies by what we just got. Okay. All right, now let's take this negative 2 and distribute it in. So negative 2 times 1 is negative 2. A negative times a negative equals a positive, and 2 times t is 2t. Okay, last thing we got to do, well, not last, I think we have a couple more steps. We're going to have to distribute, in other words, multiply this 3 by everything. So 3 times t squared is 3t squared. 3 times negative 2t is negative 6t. And 3 times 1 is 3. Okay, so I'm just going to recopy all this. And again, we're going to go from highest exponent to lowest exponent. So this 3t squared, that's what I'm going to write first because it's got the highest exponent. Then I'm going to move into my t to the firsts. So negative 6t plus 2t is negative 4t. Then we're going to go ahead and move into all of our constants. So let's see here. 3 take away 2 would be 1. And then 1 plus 10 would get us 11. So this is going to be our answer for our E. Let's go put it in. Just make sure it's right because you never know. I make a lot of mistakes. All right, so we got 10 for this. Cool. We got 26 for that. We got 31 for that. 3x to the second plus 2x is 10. And then for our final one, let me move it over so I can see it. We got 3t to the second minus 4t plus 11. Awesome. So that part E and even D could really be kind of tricky on this one. So hopefully that helps you out so you don't have to do this problem multiple times because it's kind of a long one. All right, thanks you guys.